Number 1. Jacob, a seasoned explorer, has spent almost 20 years uncovering the hidden history of abandoned mines. His passion has taken him deep into dark tunnels, where he documents these forgotten places and shares his findings with curious viewers. Typically, his explorations are fascinating, filled with the quiet allure of desolate underground spaces. But one particular visit stood out, and not in a good way. This one would haunt him. On December 5th, 2017, a cold and rainy evening, Jacob set out to explore another mine. The roads were empty as he drove through the gloomy landscape, unaware of the unnerving events that awaited him. Upon arriving at the entrance, he parked and made his way inside. Initially, everything seemed normal, quiet, dark, and damp, just as you'd expect. But as he moved further in, a strange sense of unease slowly crept over him.
Okay, that's the portal to the Waldeck mine. I'm inside. The wind has kind of died down a little bit, and it's not raining, so I managed to stay dry. Of course, I'm inside this little alcove, kind of. But anyway, you come down this little incline path, and then big boulders here you have to climb over, and then the tunnel's right behind me, this way. So let's check it out. Let's get in here. Okay, wow. Oh, Jesus, wow. So that goes up into the stope, and you can see up there where my light is, all of those stacked boulders on that big round timber right there. All of that rock is apparently being supported by this ceiling made out of wood and timbers. So there's a lot of weight on here, on these boards. So we'll carefully and quietly go through here. And you see the tunnel continuing down there, another ore chute. And like right here, it's kind of breaking.
Navigating the tunnels wasn't easy. The crumbling wooden beams above him groaned under the weight of the earth, and broken timbers looked ready to give way at any moment. Still, Jacob, used to such risks, continued deeper without hesitation. But the deeper he went, the stranger things became. After walking for several minutes, something odd caught on camera.
We're going to take this branching tunnel that we skipped on the way in. I'm assuming that X means a dead end or somebody died.
A faint flicker of light at the far end of the tunnel. It was barely noticeable and looked like a flashlight beam for a split second. Strangely, Jacob didn't seem to notice it and kept moving forward, oblivious to what his camera had picked up. The atmosphere shifted. Suddenly, faint sounds echoed through the cavernous space.
And then you can see how big these timbers are. That's about almost a foot in diameter, the big cross timber. So they had to put big ones in here to hold up all of this rock. You can see right here where some of these boards are bending. Do you hear that? Sounds like, what, is that wind? I don't know if you can hear that on the camera. Do you hear that? It stopped. Oh, I don't know what that is. That doesn't sound like wind, but that's crazy. Don't know if that's a bird or I don't know what that is. It almost sounds like snakes, but wow. I've heard some weird stuff in mines, but that is definitely creepy.
It didn't sound like wind. It was softer, like whispers drifting through the tunnel. Jacob stopped, trying to listen more closely, but the unsettling sounds quickly faded. Though it was hard to tell what he had just heard, the uneasy feeling stuck with him. At this point, he decided to head back toward the entrance, but just before reaching it, something else caught his attention.
And taking a look around here back at the entrance, looking down the tunnel here. I don't know why that one chain is swinging back there. Don't know if you can see that in the video or not. Yeah, this mine definitely has a very spooky vibe to it. And obviously something is making the chains swing. So time to get the hell out of here.
There was another section of the mine he hadn't explored. With some hesitation, he approached it. That's when he noticed steel chains hanging from the ceiling. They swayed gently in the darkness, seemingly harmless. But just as Jacob got closer, one of the chains began swinging more forcefully. Despite the air being completely still, he froze, staring at the chain as it moved back and forth. Nothing around him explained why it was swinging. Combined with the earlier whispers, it became clear that something wasn't right. Jacob wasn't the type to scare easily, but this time, he felt an overwhelming sense of danger. Without wasting any more time, he turned and made his way out of the mine as fast as he could. Thankfully, Jacob made it out safely, but the experience left him rattled. To this day, he wonders what exactly was behind the strange noises and the swinging chain. Was it paranormal? Or could it have been something or someone hiding in the shadows? Number 2. A seasoned camper decided to embark on a solo camping trip, eager to test out his bivvy tent for the first time. He ventured deep into the forest, eventually setting up camp near a trail. At the time, it seemed like a decent spot, but that choice would later come back to haunt him. As he surveyed the area, he noticed a dirt track nearby, where bikes occasionally passed through, and a footpath not too far off. It wasn't the most isolated spot.
Issues with this area is it's next to a dirt track. So you've got this track here where bikes go through, so it's quite a busy area, and that's the tent there. There's also a footpath over there as well where people are walking, so it can get quite loud. The sun is setting now, so it should be getting quite quiet, and hopefully no one passes through, especially at night time.
But as the sun began to set, the surroundings grew quieter. Hoping for a peaceful night, he started preparing his meal, cooking, as the forest around him faded into darkness. Once he had eaten, he gave viewers a quick look at his campsite, in the pitch black, with only a small lantern casting an eerie glow over his tent.
Extra fuel, I think, for next time, because it is almost running out, so not doing too good. All gone. That was actually really good. I'm quite full now, so I didn't need to bring any bread or anything. That was really good. So I did say that I'd show you what it looks like in the dark. This is what it's like when it's pitch black. This is what it's like when you put the lantern on, and it's very creepy. But we'll see how this one goes. It's not a hammock tent, it's a lay flat, you know, on the ground tent, so we'll see how it goes, and I will see you guys in the morning.
The atmosphere was unsettling, quiet, dark, and far from comforting. Still, he tried to shake off the creeping unease, wishing himself a good night before settling in for some rest. Things remained calm until around 10:30 p.m, when sudden movement outside caught his attention. His heart raced as he listened carefully, realizing that a group of people was approaching his tent. Frozen in place, he remained silent, hoping they would pass by. But instead, they stopped just outside.
Turn around, there's somebody sleeping in the tent behind me. There. Right there, hello? Told you. Oh, it's the real boys together. No, but I don't want the guy to feel threatened at all, do you know what I mean? Yeah, leave him to it, mate, let's go. He's got a body, look, he's got a trail cam now. What do you mean? A trail cam? Look on the tree, that's you're right. Oh, sorry, man. No, it's alright, no worries.
He could hear their voices, curious, confused, and far too close for comfort. The realization hit him hard. He was alone, vulnerable, and at the mercy of complete strangers. One of them whispered something about noticing someone sleeping inside the tent. For a moment, the tension hung thick in the air, leaving him unsure of what would happen next. Thankfully, the group didn't seem hostile. One of them muttered about not wanting to scare him, and after a brief discussion, they apologized and moved on, guided back through the forest with his help. But even after they left, the uneasy feeling lingered. This time, he had encountered people who meant no harm. But as he lay awake, unable to fully relax, one thought stayed with him. What if it hadn't been the right people? Number 3. On November 1st, 2016, a group of friends decided to explore an abandoned cemetery hidden deep in the woods. The place had been forgotten by time, overgrown with weeds and surrounded by an eerie, unsettling silence. As they wandered through the graveyard, they stumbled upon a rusted crowbar lying on the ground and an old, cracked doll nearby. Something about these items felt off, sending a chill down their spines.
Heard the silence.
That's it. That is it. Yo, did you hear that? Okay, dude, let's get out of here. Okay, yeah. What? Did you see something?
Suddenly, the silence was broken by strange, unidentifiable noises echoing through the trees. The tension in the air thickened as fear began to creep in. One of them froze, insisting they had seen something move in the woods. But whatever it was, it vanished before they could get a closer look. Panic took over, and without waiting to investigate, they bolted, sprinting away from the cemetery and deeper into the woods. Even after they reached safety, none of them could shake the feeling that they had just escaped something sinister. To this day, they can't explain what they heard or what might have been lurking in the shadows. Number 4. The YouTube channel. Outdoor Family is known for sharing peaceful adventures of a family of 4 as they explore forests and mountains to unwind and connect with nature. But on November 3rd, 2024, during a camping trip in a misty forest, their relaxing escape took an unexpected turn. As night fell, they began hearing strange noises outside their tent. At first, they dismissed it, but the sound persisted, raising their curiosity. The father decided to step outside and check for the source of the disturbance.
Ses geldi baba.
Ne?
Evet. Hayvan sesi ya. Ne bu? Çakal mı, kurt mu?
Bir şey gözüküyor mu?
After a quick look around, he found nothing unusual.
Bir şey çadıra vurdu. Aşkım.
Bakayım.
Aşkım dikkat tut. Avat.
Efendim?
Neredesin? Neydi?
Bilmiyorum. Çevirme. Hayvan mı? Nasıl yaptın?
Determined to solve the mystery, he set up a trail camera near the tent, hoping to capture any movement. The next day, they checked the camera footage, and to their surprise, it had caught something.
Bu mu? Bu kurt. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bak.
Çok güzel.
Çok büyük ya. Görüyor musun? Bayağı da büyük. Dün gecedeki kurt olabilir.
A wolf had passed near their campsite during the night. Although not entirely unexpected, since they were camping in a wildlife area, the encounter still left them uneasy. Deciding not to take any chances, they quickly packed up their gear and left the area. Thankfully, the family left unharmed, but the experience served as a reminder of the unpredictability of camping in the wilderness, where nature's presence can sometimes be closer than expected. Number 5. While out on a peaceful hike, one man's calm afternoon quickly turned into a tense and dangerous encounter when he realized he was being stalked by a massive black bear.
Shit. Wow!
About 400 meters from camp. Whoa! Get! Oh boy. Whoa! Go! Go away! Go!
The bear slowly closed the distance, its presence looming dangerously close. Staying as composed as he could, the hiker didn't panic. He maintained eye contact, armed himself with a stick, and began slowly backing away, shouting at the bear to scare it off. Despite the danger, he kept recording, though his voice betrayed just how intense the moment had become.
Cameron, run. Well, not run. Whoa! 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 Get! Ah! Go! Get!
At one point, he even hinted that he might have to drop the camera, though not run, as that would only provoke the bear. The situation grew more alarming with every second, but just as things seemed to escalate, the video abruptly cut off. What happened next remains a mystery, leaving viewers to wonder whether he managed to escape the bear's pursuit unharmed. Number 6. In this chilling exploration, YouTuber Ryder ventures into an abandoned home that seems frozen in time. Known for uncovering eerie and forgotten places, Ryder's videos are usually filled with decaying artifacts, unsettling discoveries, and an ominous sense of mystery. But this visit, on February 8, 2020, was unlike any other. Inside the abandoned house, Ryder walks through rooms that remain eerily untouched, knitting projects, vintage keepsakes, and furniture still in place, all coated in dust.
As you can see, this place is a bit frigged up. There's squirrels that are living in here. I don't know if I mentioned that yet, but there definitely are. We've got a nice spoon collection right here. That was a thing at one time. My grandmother had a very extensive spoon collection before she passed. And I don't know if you can hear the beeping in the background, but there is 13 unread messages. The power is still on in here, guys. Now, it is a bit of a mess. The calendar here is August 2018. So we're gonna go downstairs to the basement before we move on. And here's another piece of the work that the woman who lived here had created. Just very talented. I can hear squirrels running through the walls. So back here, guys, this is just the basement. Well, this is part of the basement. This is like a storage area, as you can see. There's a freezer back there running. I'm not gonna bother opening it because who knows what's in there.
But it's what he discovers next that truly freezes him in his tracks.
Close that up. Now, guys, look at this. Full bar, still set up and super retro. Just incredible. All the booze. And you'll notice everything's kind of got a coating and stuff on it. My belief is that that's nicotine, as the people that, well, the woman that lived here was a smoker. Look at this retro bar sign. And guys, as I'm here, I'm hearing squirrels running through the air ducts.
As he climbs the stairs, strange noises break the silence, which he attributes to squirrels scurrying through the walls.
And this is why I'm going to show you something that you've probably never seen before in a video. I've never come across it. I've always been worried about something like this happening, and then it did. When we walked in here, we took a few steps in the door, and we saw this on the ground. Now, for those who can't figure that, figure out what that is a body stain. And you can see right there, there's a walker. So, unfortunately, it seems that the woman who had lived here had taken a bad fall, landed on the floor, and that's where she expired, unfortunately.
On the floor, Ryder finds a dark stain, a haunting body imprint near a walker. It appears that the woman who once lived here tragically fell, and from the look of it, she may have lain there unnoticed for a long time before being discovered. Ryder reflects on the eerie discovery, encouraging viewers to check on their loved ones before it's too late. The scene is haunting. Though Ryder leaves the house physically unharmed, the disturbing memory of what he found inside lingers long after he steps away. Number 7. On October 17th, 2023, a man lay alone in his tent deep in the forest after an exhausting day of camping. Everything seemed peaceful until he heard a sudden, heavy rustling in the trees nearby. Moments later, he realized he wasn't alone. A giant bear was outside his tent, roaming dangerously close. Holding his breath, he watched as its sharp claws tore through the thin fabric, mere inches from him. He tried to stay calm, but when he glimpsed its piercing eyes, fear gripped him. The bear growled, shaking the entire tent, leaving him helpless and desperate to escape. Thankfully, after a tense standoff, the bear turned and disappeared into the woods, leaving him alive but utterly shaken. On October 26, 2022, a YouTuber from the channel Creepy Outdoors ventured deep into the forest late at night. After setting up his camp, he decided to take a night walk through the isolated woods. As he wandered, he remarked on how lonely it felt, imagining how terrifying it would be to get lost out there.
Well, at least it'll be a lot easier to walk through here. Man, this place is so lonely. Imagine just being lost out here. It feels like this would never end.
Little did he know, his eerie thoughts were about to become reality.
Oh, fuck. Oh, hi. What the hell? I need to get out of here. Oh.
Suddenly, he heard a voice, a whisper that said, "I see you." Startled, he looked around but found no one. Convinced it might be a prank, he kept searching. But with no signs of any human nearby, he realized something more sinister might be at play.
Ooh. Okay. That was fucking creepy. I need to get out of here. Ooh. Okay. Talking about Wishblair Project.
Alone and unnerved, he quickly packed up, determined to leave the haunting forest behind. These unsettling encounters remind us that while camping can bring peace and connection to nature, it can also lead to terrifying experiences beyond explanation. From ghostly voices and mysterious figures to wild animals lurking in the dark, the wilderness holds dangers that can turn even the bravest adventurers into frightened souls longing for safety. Number 8. This chilling footage comes from Foul Mitten, a YouTuber best known for outdoor adventure videos that typically showcase hunting, fishing, and the beauty of nature. But this particular video takes a darker turn. focusing instead on a terrifying and unexplained nighttime encounter near his home. As the video unfolds, Foul Mitten describes strange occurrences that have been happening repeatedly. Mysterious noises echo from the forest, footsteps, rustling leaves, and the ominous snapping of branches, suggesting that something or someone is lurking just beyond sight.
They're all over the damn place again tonight. Okay, I'm gonna keep walking towards it. Might actually get to capture something here.
He walks cautiously, hoping to capture evidence of what has been disturbing the peace. They're all over the place tonight, he says, uneasily moving toward the unsettling sounds. Suddenly, he shouts into the darkness, warning the intruders to leave.
Son of a... All right, whatever you are, you need to leave. Stay out of this place. This is our home. This is our home. You need to leave. You can leave now.
As tensions escalate, Foul Mitten decides to take no chances. He retrieves a firearm and issues a final warning before firing a loud gunshot into the night. The forest falls silent, but not for long. A brief, chilling glimpse of one of the intruders is captured on camera. The figure appears vaguely humanoid, but undeniably strange. Its glowing eyes reflect light in a way that seems unnatural, adding to the eerie atmosphere. Although the night ends without further incidents, the encounter leaves the family shaken, with more questions than answers. Number 9. In this eerie and unsettling video, we follow Colin, also known as the Bearded Explorer, who has been captivating his viewers for the past 8 years by venturing into abandoned places around the world. From forgotten airplanes to luxury cars, Colin's explorations usually focus on fascinating discoveries. But this time, his experience takes a terrifying turn. For his Halloween special, Colin decides to explore the haunted Royal Hospital in Ghostport, England. This naval hospital, which opened in 1753, served sailors for over 250 years. Many of them never left, and over 7,000 souls are buried in unmarked graves on the premises. Local legends say their restless spirits still wander its dark hallways. Despite the ominous reputation of the hospital, Colin sneaks in through the basement late at night to film his Halloween episode, hoping to capture something spooky for his audience.
On my own in the Hassan Hospital, and we are going to be exploring all the creepy parts of this building. Now, I had to sneak in through the basement tonight because the security are on the gate and they are absolutely 100% hot people coming in here now. So I had to be a little bit James Bond to get in here, but I'm in here. We're going to get up to the main entrance, go and check this place out and see what we can find.
Little does he know, the night will become one of the scariest experiences of his life.
I'll express to you how creepy this place is walking around on your own. I can't help but feel that there's somebody walking right behind me. It's really, really creepy. And then we're going to go upstairs and check out all the MRI scanners. Okay, that was weird. That door has just closed. But there is absolutely no wind in here whatsoever. What the hell was that? Okay, that was really, really creepy. I've only been here literally 5 minutes and that's happened. Okay, I'm gonna get out of this area.
As Colin begins his exploration, he immediately senses the unnerving atmosphere. While walking down a hallway, he hears a door creak behind him. Turning around, he finds that it has closed halfway, despite there being no wind or open windows. This small but chilling incident makes him uneasy, but he presses on, hoping it's just his imagination.
Hospital, and it's still hanging here today. And a creepy chair's still there too. There's always a creepy chair in a room like this, isn't there? God, look at the paint peel in here, it's unbelievable. There is actually a little bit of a breeze on those curtains, which is strange because there's no wind in here. This is why I've just walked past, but look at it, it's moving on its own. That's really bizarre because there's not even a window open here. is that curtain moving? Okay, don't think about it too much.
He heads toward the hospital's gymnasium, where he spots a curtain gently moving. The strange part? There's no draft and no logical reason for it to sway. Brushing it off, Colin moves deeper into the building.
What to do? Let's go down this way. The fuck was that? Must have been a pigeon. Oh yeah, probably was coming through that window. Okay, let's... Oh god, it's creepy in here. God, you just listen to the water outside. There's no wind today, but it is really, really raining hard out there now. Oh, there's always a creepy chair in the basement. Why? Why? Yeah. So this, guys, is a real human liver. I know it's disgusting, but it is very, very rare. The sort of thing you'd only see in a museum. But here it is in Hassel Hospital. It's been here for years. Now apparently there used to be a museum here where this came from. There was also some stillborns, there were some shrunken heads. It was a very weird collection of stuff. Nobody knows what happened to it, but this is still here, and I'm glad it's still here too. Oh, I don't like being in here though, I must admit. Oh, I don't think we'll bother going up there today. I swear I just heard something then.
But the unsettling occurrences don't stop. In the basement, he hears faint noises that grow louder and more frequent, making him feel as though someone, or something, might be following him. Still, determined to continue, Colin shows his viewers a preserved human liver stored in a box, one of the bizarre artifacts left behind from when the hospital had a museum. As Colin leaves the basement, the tension continues to build.
And it's quite nice to see that everything is still here. A few of the bits have been moved around, but I'm pretty sure that's done by the builders, not by anyone else. Still crazy to think that all of this stuff is in here, all the paperwork. Oh my god, what the hell was that? It felt like I bumped into someone, but there's no one there. Oh, okay, freak out. Ooh, okay. There's nobody there. It felt like I bumped into someone, but there's nobody there. There is nobody there. Oh my god. Wow, look at that. That's really cool. Whew, okay, that was a little bit scary. There's definitely nobody there. Okay, it was nothing. It was nothing. Let's carry on. So I feel like I want to check every room now just to make sure there's no one in here, because that was really weird. Hello? Okay. That was weird. God, why do I do this to myself?
He hears what sounds like footsteps, and when he looks around, there's no one in sight. He decides to explore the upper floors, hoping to put some distance between himself and the creepy noises. But the deeper he goes, the more intense the activity becomes.
Like that, what I'm doing now, that's exactly what I just heard. Okay, that was really, really creepy. That was really creepy. I'm sure I just heard that. Right, I'm getting out of this bit. That was really, really horrible. God, I am absolutely crapping myself now, I really am.
Colin tries to remain calm, convincing himself it's all just his imagination. Once again, he ventures into another part of the building, hoping this area will be quieter. But that's far from the case.
I think the operating theatre is this one on the right here. Is it that one? Yes. What the fuck was that? Okay, that was weird. That was really, really, really weird. Oh god. Oh, I can't tell you how scared I am at the moment. Oh god, I've just got to laugh about it though. All you can do is laugh about it. Here we are, and they're still here. They are still here. They have been... I'm hearing some really weird noises right now. God, I cannot tell you how scared I am right now. Honestly. Walking around this place on your own at night time is something else. It's the first time I've actually done it. Oh god. Right, okay, let's let's head down this way. No, let's head down this way. Honestly, guys, if you've never tried this before, I urge you just to give it a go once. Just come to a place like this and just walk around it on your own at night. The adrenaline rush you get from it is phenomenal. It really is. But at the same time, it is very, very scary. My heart is racing 10 to the dozen at the moment. Right, I think this is the way out here. Right, I don't know if you heard that then, but that fucking sounded like... Hello? This is absolute bullshit. There is no way I just fucking heard that. I'm sorry I'm swearing, guys, but I do swear when I get scared. What the hell is this?
In one particularly unsettling moment, Colin walks through a hallway and suddenly feels as though he's bumped into someone, except there's no one there. Visibly shaken, he tries to laugh it off, but his breathing becomes heavier as he tries to calm down.
What the fuck? There's no way that has just happened. There is no way. That is... Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the hell? What the hell? Right, you've just seen that with your own eyes. I have not touched that. There is nobody else here. What the fuck was that? How the hell did that happen? Okay, that was really, really scary. I didn't like that. I really did. I'm so sorry I swore then, but that really did scare me. That was horrible. Right, I really want to get out of here now. Honestly, this is just so terrifying. I don't care what anyone says. This is scary. What the fuck is going on? It sounds like there's people fucking riding. What the fuck is going on? There's no way that just happened. There's no way. There is fucking no way that just happened. There's no one fucking in there. There's no way anyone could have been in there. Okay, I am fucking getting out of here. Fuck that. I'm gone. Oh God.
The atmosphere inside the hospital is oppressive, and it starts to feel like the walls are closing in on him. Even Colin, who is usually calm and collected, begins to doubt whether he can continue the exploration. Just as Colin reaches the upper floors, chaos erupts. He hears faint laughter, almost like a child's, echoing through the hallways, followed by the loud slam of a door and a crashing sound as if something heavy has been thrown. When Colin rushes to investigate, he finds nothing but empty corridors. It's clear now that whatever is causing the noises isn't human, or at least isn't visible. The realization that something unseen is following him sends Colin into a panic. He hurriedly makes his way back down the stairs, desperate to find an exit. As he nears the door, it suddenly creaks open on its own, as though inviting him or warning him to leave. At this point, Colin has had enough. Abandoning his curiosity,
Lock. Alright, that was definitely one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me. I am never going back there again. I honestly don't know what that was, and I don't want to know what that was.
He bolts out of the hospital and heads straight for his car, choosing safety over any further exploration. Once outside, Colin breathes a sigh of relief, but the experience has clearly shaken him. He admits that it was one of the scariest nights of his life and that he has no plans to ever return to the haunted hospital. Even though he's safe, he can't stop thinking about the strange events he witnessed and the chilling feeling of being followed by something invisible. Deep down, Colin knows that what he encountered that night wasn't normal, and it wasn't something he wants to encounter again. On July 28, 2012, Doug and Glenna ventured deep into the Arizona wilderness for a peaceful weekend of dispersed camping. They chose an isolated spot in the Coconut National Forest, far from any main paths, at the end of a remote forest road, surrounded by dense woods and an eerie stillness.
From there.
And at the time we were like, maybe it was an animal.
You know, our goal is to be somewhere where we don't see people.
And then all of a sudden we just hear like distant music that keeps getting closer and closer. To me it sounded like somebody playing music from their phone.
Yeah, phone or like a personal speaker. We already had hiked down that road to do the geocache, and there was, you know, no campsites, no people, and the road just dead ends. But it was in the dark, and we are maybe 4 or 5 miles back on some forest roads, and found a quick spot to pull in.
The campsite appeared perfect for their goal of complete solitude. However, their quiet retreat soon took a chilling turn. After a storm passed, Doug and Glenna relocated to a different campsite and began settling in for the night. As they finished dinner, their dogs suddenly began growling, a low, ominous growl directed toward the darkness beyond the campsite.
Got to our new site around 9, right around dusk, right after the big storm kind of blew over. We were finishing up eating dinner and just sitting inside the camper, and the dogs kind of were looking outside and growled at, like their mean growl at something. And at the time we were like, maybe it was an animal. We didn't see anything. Oh, not too long after, Doug was just outside and we heard music playing in the distance, and we thought it was really odd because there's no other campsites around us. We didn't see anybody come down our road, and it was just strange. And then we kept hearing the music kind of getting closer, like it was walking to the side of us, but like closer. I don't know. It was weird. We got sketched out, so we moved, and now we're here, and it's really pretty. The dogs are running. The other thing about the music was you would hear it, and then it would stop, and it was like someone, to me it sounded like somebody playing music from their phone.
Initially, they assumed it could have been a wild animal, though they couldn't see anything unusual. Then, without warning, faint music began drifting through the trees. At first, it was distant, like someone playing a song on a phone or portable speaker, but it slowly grew louder. The sound continued to approach, stopping and starting at irregular intervals. There were no other campsites nearby, no sign of any other campers or people, and yet the music came closer with each pause and resumption, as if something or someone was steadily approaching through the woods. The forest remained pitch black, with no visible flashlights or movement, only the unsettling sound of music moving through the trees.
And it would play for like maybe 40 seconds, and then it would stop. And the next time it would play, it would sound like it was closer, and then it would stop again. Like it was just weird. Like the first time we heard it, we thought maybe somebody was singing really loud, like further away. But then when we started hearing it get closer, we were just like, that's weird, because there shouldn't be anybody else by us. And then the dogs barking and growling into the dark abyss, kind of.
As the pattern repeated itself, Doug and Glenna grew increasingly uneasy. The music would play for brief moments, then stop, only to resume again from an even closer position. Each time, the sound inched nearer, heightening their fear. There was no rational explanation. They had driven far into the forest to be alone, and yet now they were hearing a presence they couldn't see, approaching them step by step in the cover of darkness. The tension escalated as their dogs, still alert and growling, stared into the dark void beyond the campsite. Something was out there, hidden in the trees, and it wasn't just a passing animal.